What we're going to do now is quickly navigate the app, and then we're going to hop over to Coinbase, purchase some Bitcoin, and send it over to our wallet. So from the home screen here, we can see information about creating a watch list. You can also keep track of trending swaps here on Base. And this is going to be a way that people are able to get exposure to other types of cryptocurrencies that might be less common. Nothing that we're going to be covering in this video. You can also learn about NFTs and get into NFTs here through Base. So these types of wallets are popular for those who are into those types of tokens. From here, if we click over one more, we have this option, which is going to be where we can send and receive cryptocurrency. Now, one thing you're going to notice here is by default you have Ethereum, and that's because the Base network itself is built on the Ethereum blockchain, so oftentimes you're going to see Ethereum by default. So that's actually what we're going to be sending over from our Coinbase wallet. So later on, we're going to come into this section here when we want to receive cryptocurrencies. But for now, we're just going to click over one more, and this is going to show you a list of all of your transactions. So once we actually send cryptocurrency over, we're going to see it listed here, but there's nothing just yet. And then if we go over all the way to the right, this is going to show us our different cryptocurrency balances. So once you have different cryptos, they'll be listed over here. And then you have the option for NFTs, and then your other DeFi options here. If you're doing any staking or anything like that, that's going to be all the way on the right. But for now, we're going to click back here on crypto, and there's options here to buy crypto through providers within the app, or we can send it over. So let's do that now by clicking on the buy button in the top left and seeing what those options are. From the buy screen here, it's going to show you the different cryptocurrencies that you can purchase, and you're going to be able to change that by clicking here and choosing which asset to buy. Now, everything right here is going to be on the Base network, so this is going to be Ethereum-based tokens here. You're not going to see Bitcoin here listed, for example. But if you click here on where the network is listed, you can change that to the different networks. So if we change it to the Bitcoin network, then you can purchase Bitcoin and even store it through this, for example. So if we switch it now back over to Base and we have it on buying Ethereum, this is where you could change the dollar amount. So let's say you're looking to buy $50 worth. You can then pay with Apple Pay or different methods here, and these would be the limits. And a lot of this is going to be through the Coinbase app, and then it's going to deposit it over to Base. So you have the option of debit card, bank account, fiat balance, and then even you can also transfer from your Coinbase account directly through the app too, if you want to avoid having to copy and paste a wallet address. Now, I've had a lot of trouble with Apple Pay in the past in terms of trying to buy crypto, so I'm not going to go ahead and try to do that. But what we're going to do instead is hop over and send some crypto from my Coinbase account over the good old-fashioned way. So here we are inside of my Coinbase account, and since I have just $1.69, we're going to have to purchase some crypto. So what we're going to do is click here on crypto, and you can see I have some very small amounts of some altcoins listed here, but what we're going to need is Ethereum. So we'll go ahead and search for it here, and we can click on it at the very top, and then we are going to click on the buy button, and we're going to buy crypto with cash. So we have a $15,000 limit. Obviously, we're not going to go anywhere near that. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to purchase $50 worth of Ethereum, and we can click on review order, and we can see that it's going to be available to trade and transfer instantly. That's definitely a plus because we're going to want to send that right over. And then we can go ahead and click on buy now. And just like that, our order was submitted. So we're going to click here on done. And we're going to, again, send this over with the wallet address, like I said, the old-fashioned way, copy and pasting. But keep in mind, again, if you want to just within the Base app, go over into the earlier section and just transfer right from Coinbase, there is an option to do that. But what we're going to do now is click over here on assets, and we can already see our Ethereum is listed here. And what we're going to do now is go back over to Base and copy our wallet address. So we've secured our Ethereum. Now we need to figure out where we're going to send it. So I'm going to navigate back over to Base. And from the home screen here, we're going to click on the two lines in the middle up and down. And this is where we're going to now click on the receive button. And this is where we can now do a copy and pasting. And it mentions here, if you're tired of the copy and paste, you can also claim a free username. That's going to be helpful for your friends if they're on Base. That way, if you're looking to send somebody money, you can do it a lot easier than the traditional method. But in this case, we definitely are just going to do the old school way, click on Ethereum address, and it copied this to the clipboard. So now we're going to navigate back. And again, you can connect it right to Coinbase at the bottom if you want to have it just directly send things over without this manual method here. So now we're going to go back over to Coinbase. We're going to click here on transfer, and we're going to send the crypto. And then it says Coinbase would like to paste from Base. Now the cool thing about that is we know that it's coming from Base, so we know what it's pasting in fact. So we're going to click on allow paste. Now for security reasons, Coinbase makes me turn off my screen recording during this section, so we're just going to get through with screenshots here. So at this point we have the address that I've pasted from my clipboard. If we click on that, it's going to now give us the option to send crypto to this address. And then we have the option to select the network. The interesting thing is here, if you use the Ethereum network by default, it's going to cost you 27 cents to send over our roughly 50 bucks. But the benefit to using Base within the Coinbase ecosystem is that it's free and you're not going to pay a fee. So we're going to use Base. I'm going to click on the bottom. And then you have to check a box here that says, does your recipient accept ETH on Base? And then you're going to then click yes, it's supported in this case because you're using the Base wallet. And now we have the option to send over our Ethereum. We have 4854 available, so we're just going to send $40. That way we have enough maintained in case there's any extra or anything that we need in the process. After clicking on preview, we then have the option to review the transaction to see where it's going. We can see the network is going to be Base, and it says the send time is roughly 20 seconds. And if everything looks good, you can click on send now at the bottom. And just like that, it says we have sent our smidge of Ethereum there, roughly $40 worth. You can click on view details if you want to see the full details, or click on done. We're just going to click on done at the very bottom. Back over in the Base app now, we're going to click on home, and I'm going to refresh from the top here just to see if it has come over yet, and it hasn't yet, but honestly it's only been about 10 seconds, so I will keep track of this and then let you guys know once we see confirmation of this on the other side. And just like that, guys, it is sent over. So our balance is now about $40. It's fluctuating with the market price of Ethereum. And it took about 2 minutes for this to come over, probably less, but I would say when I'm used to the speed of, the Bitcoin network, for example, that can take like an hour sometimes. So this came over really quickly, and we now have the Ethereum. So if I click on home, we can see that is listed in the top left as our balance.